Becoming the top contender for a UFC championship is a feat that only a relatively small number of professional fighters achieve. In most cases, it takes years of hard work and dedication for a competitor to earn the right to challenge for the richest prize in mixed martial arts. Of course, as many an athlete has discovered, actually winning the gold can be far more difficult than earning the right to fight for it. So for this video, we've decided to take a look at a group of title challengers who were defeated by the reigning champ in the very first round. As always, if you guys enjoy this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Now without further ado, and ranked in no particular order, let's take a look at 10 title challengers who got knocked out in just one round. Number 10. Donald Cerrone. Having turned pro back in 2006, Donald "Cowboy" Cerrone has been one of the world's top lightweights throughout much of his MMA career. At UFC 167, Cerrone submitted Evan Dunham in what would be the beginning of an impressive 8-fight winning streak. During this remarkable run, Cerrone defeated stars like Edson Barboza, Eddie Alvarez and Ben Henderson. The victory set the stage for a showdown with the undisputed UFC lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos. The two had previously met at UFC Fight Night 27, in a fight that saw dos Anjos earn a unanimous decision victory. In fact, the Brazilian was the last man to defeat Cerrone before his win streak actually began. Unfortunately for Cerrone, things would go even worse the second time around, as when the two clashed for the lightweight strap at UFC on Fox 17, dos Anjos needed little over a minute to put an end to the fight, with the champ managing to back his opponent against the cage and put him away with a barrage of big shots. In the end, it took dos Anjos just 66 seconds to retain his lightweight title.
Got me with the knee, not the kick. The kick didn't land. The knees what started it, and then he put a great onslaught of punches on me. So did a great job overwhelming me and doing what he had to do to reign champ. So like I said, sometimes you just don't show up, and in our profession, it's a bad day.
Number 9. Alistair Overeem. Alistair the Demolition Man Overeem has been a mainstay in the UFC heavyweight division since 2011, with the Dutch powerhouse using his elite kickboxing to put away some of the sport's best over the course of his lengthy career. A win over fellow Dutchman Stefan Struve in December of 2014 would mark the beginning of a 4-fight winning streak for Overeem, following it up with victories over Roy Nelson, Junior dos Santos and Andrei Arlovski respectively. The string of victories set the stage for a showdown with heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic at UFC 203, and though the fight was competitive, Miocic used his vicious ground and pound to earn a first-round TKO victory, in turn putting an end to Overeem's title hopes for the time being. Number 8. Vitor Belfort. During what would be his third stint with the promotion, former light heavyweight champ Vitor the Phenom Belfort returned to the UFC in 2009, with his sights firmly set on the middleweight strap. The man holding the title at the time was none other than Anderson the Spider Silva. Prior to the match, Belfort had earned his shot at Silva by knocking out former middleweight champ Rich Franklin in just over 3 minutes. The two Brazilian legends would throw down at UFC 126 in a highly anticipated contest. As fate would have it, the fight produced one of Silva's most memorable and iconic highlight reel knockouts. During the fight, the Spider landed a devastating front kick that sent Belfort crashing to the canvas, resulting in a spectacular first-round finish. Number 7. Holly Holm. Following her upset win over bantamweight champ Ronda Rousey at UFC 193, Holly Holm became one of MMA's biggest stars. Since losing the title, Holm has remained near the top of the heap in both the women's bantamweight and featherweight divisions. At UFC 239, the former boxing pro would get a chance to pull off another monumental upset and regain her bantamweight crown. However, to do so, she would need to take on the greatest female fighter of all time. Sadly for Holm, the Lioness proved too much to handle, as Nunes connected with a nasty fight-ending head kick late into the first round. In doing so, the champ became the first female fighter to earn a KO victory over Holm in an MMA bout. Number 6. Alexis Davis. Former top contender Alexis Davis is a jiu-jitsu ace who has beaten some of the best fighters in the world over the years. The submission specialist holds victories over former title challengers Liz Carmouche and Jessica Eye, even managing to pick up a TKO win over Amanda Nunes back in 2011. Davis would end up winning her first 3 bouts in the UFC, which was enough to warrant a shot at the then unbeaten bantamweight champion Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Rousey, who had a knack for putting away opponents in short order, had finished 8 of her first 9 fights in the opening round. At UFC 175, Davis and Rousey competed in what would go down as the shortest title fight in the promotion's history. In total, it took the former Olympian just 16 seconds to toss the Canadian to the ground and finish her off with a series of blows to the head. Number 5. Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen's reputation as one of MMA's premier trash talkers helped make him one of the most popular fighters in the game. As such, despite coming off of a loss to Anderson Silva at UFC 148, the bad guy managed to wiggle his way into a title shot with light heavyweight champ Jon Jones. Jones and Sonnen coached opposite one another in the Ultimate Fighter 17th season to help promote their eventual showdown at UFC 159. And while there was plenty of build-up leading up to the contest, the fight itself turned out to be a one-sided affair. Despite badly injuring his toe, Jones managed to steamroll his opponent and earn a first-round TKO victory.
It's tough. Look, I've had a lot of fights and they haven't all gone my way, but I've only been beat up twice, and that was number 2.
Number 4. Chad Mendes. Former college wrestler Chad Money Mendes made a seamless transition into mixed martial arts once he made his debut in 2008. The California native won his first 11 professional fights, which included victories over featherweight mainstays like Cub Swanson and Eric Coe. Having put together an impressive undefeated streak, Mendes became the next man in line to face UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo, with the two competing for the featherweight strap for the first time at UFC 142. The initial round of the contest was fairly uneventful in the early going. However, things took a dramatic turn when Aldo escaped a takedown attempt and responded with a well-timed knee to the head. The blow ended the contest with just 1 second left in round 1, earning Aldo his third successful title defense. Number 3. Joseph Benavidez. Joseph Benavidez has been a flyweight contender since the UFC introduced the division back in 2012. In fact, he was involved in the inaugural tournament to crown the division's first ever champion. As part of the tournament, Benavidez faced the eventual champ in Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson at UFC 152. That evening, Mighty Mouse emerged the victor via a hard-fought split decision victory. Following the setback, Benavidez would go on a 3-fight win streak, picking up W's over top contenders like Ian McCall and Jussier Formiga. Thanks to this impressive streak, a rematch with Johnson was slated for UFC on Fox 9. And while their first fight was extremely competitive, the rematch was anything but. Demetrius Johnson left little doubt who the better fighter was as he landed a big right hand that put the challenger to sleep. So, when it was all said and done, it took Johnson little over 2 minutes to earn both a KO victory and defend his flyweight crown. Number 2. Evan Tanner. After making his professional debut back in 1997, former middleweight champion Evan Tanner would go on to win 23 of his first 25 professional fights. During that span, he captured the USWF Heavyweight Championship and won the prestigious Pancras Neo Blood Tournament. Tanner's impressive resume provided him with an opportunity to face Tito Ortiz for the UFC light heavyweight strap. At the time, Ortiz was considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and when the two met at UFC 30, he showed fans exactly why. When the contest began, Ortiz pressed his opponent against the cage and proceeded to land some heavy shots. He then followed things up by hoisting Tanner in the air and knocking him unconscious with a thunderous slam. In total, the entire fight lasted just 30 seconds. But despite the disappointing result, Tanner would get back on track and eventually capture the UFC Middleweight Championship back in 2005. Number 1. Cody Garbrandt. Cody No Love Garbrandt secured his place in MMA history by becoming just the second man to defeat Dominic Cruz, in turn capturing the UFC Bantamweight Championship. His next 2 fights would come against former teammate turned rival TJ Dillashaw, with the two men's disdain for each other becoming abundantly clear when they served as coaches on the 25th season of The Ultimate Fighter. They would finally clash for the Bantamweight title for the first time at UFC 217. That night, Garbrandt managed to rock the challenger early, but was unable to put him away. Dillashaw would eventually recover and TKO his rival in the second round. Given a lack of viable contenders, an immediate rematch between the two would go down at UFC 227. This time around, Garbrandt would be the challenger and Dillashaw the champion. While their roles were reversed, the result was more or less the same, as Dillashaw would once again score a TKO victory, only this time it took him just 4 minutes and 10 seconds to get the job done. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Apart from that, thanks so much for watching guys, and we'll see you in the next one.